Why is Melbourne one of the most livable cities? Beautiful skies, the unpredictable climate, trams, cafes, the Yarra River, everything about Melbourne is captivating. The most European metropolis amongst all Australian cities, Melbourne enjoyed the title of the world's most livable city for 7 consecutive years, from 2011 to 2017. This title, according to the Economist Intelligence Unit, is based on education, healthcare, culture, stability, infrastructure, and the environment of the city. Australia, the land down under, has always been on the bucket list of most individuals around the world owing to its beautiful cities. Cities such as Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Perth, Adelaide, and Melbourne lure travelers into experiencing the different dimensions of life in Australia. Each city has something different to offer, yet there's something appealing about Melbourne, which makes it the crown city of Australia. So, why is Melbourne consistently ranked as one of the most livable cities in the world? What is it about Melbourne that is so appealing? If you haven't visited Melbourne, you simply wouldn't know. Understanding and experiencing the atmosphere fueled by a creative and culturally diverse community is something one can only feel when in Melbourne. However, reading about the city might immerse you in the city's magic. Melbourne is a magnificent city to live, study, and work in. It fosters a diverse culture and values contributed by people from different countries who have found solace in Melbourne. Let's take a look at what makes the city a preferred choice for most people when it comes to living in Australia. Melbourne is a magnificent city to live, study, and work in. It fosters a diverse culture and values contributed by people from different countries who have found solace in Melbourne. Let's take a look at what makes the city a preferred choice for most people when it comes to living in Australia. Finest shopping centres, cafes, and restaurants. Melbourne is known to house one of the most concentrated fashion and dining cultures in the world. Chadstone Shopping Centre, the fashion capital and the biggest shopping centre in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere, is located in Melbourne. The city also has various large shopping centres in different suburbs and the CBD, such as Melbourne Central, Emporium Melbourne, Northland Shopping Centre, Highpoint Shopping Centre, etc. The department stores and shopping complexes of Melbourne keep the most discerning shoppers enchanted. Melbourne's cafes, which can be found in every nook and corner of the CBD region and suburbs, are popular for serving the perfect coffees. The city also boasts numerous small cafes, boutique restaurants and world-class restaurants, offering a delightful experience. One can indulge in a dining experience with the Yarra River flowing right beside them, experience the breathtaking view of the city from the tallest building in the city, or enjoy a meal while riding in a tram. The city offers immersive dining and shopping experiences that fill the hearts of visitors and residents alike. If you're on a budget, there are plenty of cheap eats in Melbourne. Are you a fan of cricket or tennis? Perhaps you haven't watched the Australian Football League, AFL, yet. Melbourne holds various sporting events throughout the year, from cricket matches in the Melbourne Cricket Ground, to the Australian Open in Melbourne Park, and the famous Aussie footy in MCG or Marvel Stadium. The residents of different suburbs in Melbourne religiously follow the AFL by supporting their favourite teams, which are named after the suburbs. You can even experience the thrilling Formula One racing at the Australian Grand Prix or indulge in a sophisticated experience of the Melbourne Cup horse races. The sports fever in Melbourne is so high that the state even offers public holidays during the Melbourne Cup and AFL Final League. Victoria is known as a global knowledge hub, attracting the best researchers and academics in the world. Melbourne witnesses an influx of overseas students every year. It is home to two universities, Monash University and the University of Melbourne, that are counted amongst the top 100 universities in the world. Other cities such as Sydney and Perth also attract many students from around the world. However, Melbourne is the preferred city out of all others when it comes to education. The city fosters dynamic arts and culture which can be experienced through the Arts Centre, Malthouse Theatre, Melbourne Theatre Company, etc. It attracts talent from different countries to participate in different festivals and cultural events. Since Melbourne is home to a culturally diverse community, the city is always buzzing with events and festivals that add to the vivid and lively atmosphere of the city. Where graffiti is considered illegal, Melbourne proudly embraces it and displays it to visitors through the Hosier Lane and De Grave Street in the CBD. The city is all about creativity and individuality, and your visit to Melbourne is incomplete if you haven't had an opportunity to view the street art in these areas. While exploring the graffiti laneways of Melbourne, why not check out some of the laneway and rooftop bars? A piece of advice that most visitors, new students, or new residents receive upon arriving in Melbourne is to always carry an umbrella and a jacket. While you can be mesmerized by the hues of the Melbourne sky, the weather is just unpredictable. You will often hear that when you're in Melbourne you can experience 4 seasons in one day. You may find yourself caught off guard by the climate on any day, and the weather app may not be able to come to your rescue. You can expect the weather to get cold or get drenched in sudden showers even during a hot summer afternoon. In fact, Melbourne is famous for the memes made on its weather changes. However, the weather adds to the beauty and authenticity of the city, and it makes people fall in love with Melbourne. Melbourne is certainly the best destination in Australia for tourists. The city is a Pandora's box, offering historic villages, wineries, tall forests, Australian wildlife, and rugged coastlines within a 90-minute drive. You can dive into experiences of artisan breweries, best wineries, and restaurants overlooking stunning landscapes. Weekend getaways are not at all difficult to plan, with countless spots in and around the city. Some cool places to visit in Melbourne are the Great Ocean Road and the Grampians, Yarra Valley, Mornington Peninsula, St Kilda Beach, Brighton Beach Boxes, Puffing Billy Railway, Ballarat Gold Mines, Phillip Island Penguins, the most Instagrammable spots in Melbourne, and more. No wonder the tourism sector is the second largest contributor to the state's economy. Explore Melbourne for free. 1. Take the City Circle Tram. The City Circle Tram is free and a great way to explore the city centre. The historic red tram will take you on a city loop past Flinders Saint Station, St Paul's Cathedral, the Docklands, Etihad Stadium, State Library, Carlton Gardens, and more. 2. Go on a free city walking tour. Tours depart daily at 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. from the Sir Redmond Barry statue at the State Library of Victoria. No bookings needed. You just need to show up and look for a guide in a bright green t-shirt. The tour will guide you through all that Melbourne has to offer: the arts, laneways, graffiti, history, architecture, gardens, and more. 3. Go to Queen Victoria Market. Cheap food, quirky souvenirs, clothing, jewelry, and did we mention food? Food from all over the world can be found at Queen Victoria Market. Many stalls at Queen Victoria Market will offer free tasting platters.